Today we are going to continue using long division to solve problems. In all, 4,729 hot dogs were sold at a football game. If there are 8 hot dogs in a package, we want to find out how many packages of hot dogs were sold. If we look over here, we can see our bar diagram. On the top of the bar diagram, we start with our total number of hot dogs. Then we are going to divide them with each hot dog being in a pack of 8. So we need to find out how many packs of hot dogs were sold. Our equation is 4,729 divided by 8 equals P, which stands for packages. Now let's write the problem in our division bracket. We put our dividend inside the bracket, so we have 4,729 divided by 8. We are going to use our same steps of divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. So first we're going to start dividing. We want to find out how many times 8 goes into 4. Well, we can't divide 8 into 4 because 4 is less than 8. So instead, we're going to divide 8 into 47. And 8 goes into 47 5 times. Next, we're going to multiply. 8 times 5 is 40. Then we're going to subtract and bring down our 2. Make sure when you're dividing that you have a digit above each number or each digit in your dividend. So next, we want to divide how many times does 8 go into 72? Well, 8 times 9 is 72. So 8 times 9 is 72. We're going to subtract. And then we're going to bring down our 9. Now we want to ask ourselves, how many times does 8 go into 9? Well, 8 goes into 9 once. 8 times 1 is 8. We're going to subtract, and we're going to have a remainder of 1. This means we sold 591 packages of hot dogs, and then we sold 1 hot dog in an extra pack. We are going to estimate to see if our answer is reasonable. So I'm going to write 4,729 divided by 8. If you remember what we did from a few lessons ago, we used compatible numbers. So we used 8. We're going to keep the 8, then we're going to underline the first 2 digits of our dividend. A multiple of 8 that is close to 47 is 48. Then we're going to use zeros, so 4,800 divided by 8 is going to be about 600. So, since 600 is close to 591, remainder 1, we know that our answer is reasonable. Also, since we rounded up to 48, we know that they're not going to sell 600 hot dogs or 600 packages. It's going to be a little bit less, which is correct from our answer. Number 1. Your estimate can help you determine whether the quotient will have 2 or 3 digits. Does an estimate help you determine if there is going to be a remainder? Explain. I'm going to use the example 2,146 divided by 3. I know that 21 is a multiple of 3. Therefore, my rounded answer will be approximately 700. It will be very close to that. Although, I only would know if there's a remainder if I know the rules of multiples. I do know the rule of multiple for 3 is that if I add the digits, if it is a multiple of 3, then it will not have a remainder. And 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 4 is 7, plus 6 more is 13. So in this particular problem, there will definitely be a remainder. Number 2, Vicky's estimated quotient was 80. The actual quotient she calculated was 48. Is her actual quotient reasonable? Explain. I would say no, it is not reasonable because 80 is not close enough to 48. 48 is about half of 80. Therefore, her answer is not reasonable. We are going to do numbers 3 through 6, and I'm going to write them down here so it's easier to see. If I run out of room, I'm going to go on to the next page. Number 3. I have 2,871 divided by 3. I'm going to start dividing. I know 3 can't go into 2, but 3 can go into 28 9 times. 3 times 9 is 27. I'm going to subtract and bring down the 7. Now I'm going to repeat. How many times does 3 go into 17? Well, the answer is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Now I'm going to subtract and bring down the 1. Make sure you have a digit over each number in your quotient except for the first number if it is. Number 5. I have 691 divided by 9. Now, since 6 is less than 9, there will be no digit above my 6. We're going to start dividing. 69 divided by 9. Well, 9 times 7 is 63. So we're going to write 9 times 7 is 63. We're going to subtract and bring down our 1. 9 goes into 61 6 times. 9 times 6 is 54. Don't forget your rules of subtracting. You cannot take 4 from 1, so we need to regroup. 11 minus 4 is 7, so we have a remainder of 7. As long as your remainder is less than your divisor, you probably have the right answer. Last, we're going to do our last problem, number 6. I'm going to write it over here where I have some room. We have 1,140 divided by 4. Well, 4 cannot go into our first one, so there will be no digit over that answer. How many times does 4 go into 11? 4 goes into 11 twice. 4 times 2 is 8. We're going to subtract and get 3. Bring down your 4. How many times does 4 go into 34? Well, 4 times 8 is 32. Subtract and bring down your 0. How many times does 4 go into 20? Our answer is 5. 4 times 5 is 20, so we have a remainder of 0. If I'm going to round this one, I have 1,140 divided by 4. Underline the first two digits, and I know 4 times 3 is 12. So 1,200 divided by 4 is going to be about 300. Since 285 is close to 300, I know my answer is reasonable. Go ahead and do numbers 7 through 10. Don't worry about numbers 11 through 18. Also do number 24 on the back. On numbers 11 through 18, if you want to try them, just try to round the numbers and see if the answers might be reasonable.